They look like the homes of the rich and famous. Glamorous, multi-million-dollar mansions in stunning locations.
I have a name to my house, La Maison de Rêve, the house of dreams.
But movie stars don't live there.
Are you financially independent like I am? I know what the heck I'm talking about.
They're some of America's biggest megachurch pastors.
Faith comes to a climax and produces.
Like Kenneth Copeland, who lives in this $6 million complex outside Dallas.
You may think that house is too big. I don't care what you think.
You want to know how big it is? It's 40,000 square foot.
And Reverend Jesse Duplantis, who lives in this mega mansion outside New Orleans.
I'm protected from recessions and depressions.
This type of lavish lifestyle with private jets and sprawling estates has been spoofed in HBO's hit comedy series, The Righteous Gemstones.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I ain't.
They're just trying to grab as much money as they can. It's pure greed.
Critics like Pete Evans of the televangelist watchdog group, the Trinity Foundation, say these preachers are using a legal way to avoid paying property taxes on their pricey homes.
You and I are financing their rich lifestyles.
Tax records show that each of these mansions is owned by the preachers' churches, which qualifies them to be tax-free under the parsonage exemption.
The parsonage tax exemption is a way for a church or religious organization to buy a piece of residential property, have their pastor live in it, and then not pay property taxes on that parsonage. It's essentially a way to make the pastor's life a little bit easier and can live a little bit cheaper.
Political scientist and pastor Ryan Burge believes the exemption should be used to help out pastors like Jason Fishburne, who lives in a more modest home with his wife and family where they host church events.
Everything from hosting gatherings to letting people come stay when they're in crisis, making meals for people out of your kitchen.
It's the kind of job that really becomes more of a lifestyle in many ways.
They say what little money they save on their property taxes is crucial to help make ends meet.
Things will be much tighter for us, for sure, without the exemption.
But take a look at these megachurch pastor examples. This home, owned by Redemption Church, where Pastor Ron Carpenter lives, is listed for sale on Redfin for almost $8 million.
If you have a multi-million-dollar house, your property tax bill could be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. But if it's classified as a parsonage, now you don't have to pay property taxes on that home. That $50,000 could pay the salary of an elementary school teacher in your local public school.
But according to tax records, the church paid no property taxes on it last year. Pastors Ivy and Bridget Hilliard live in this Spring, Texas complex owned by New Light Church World.
When I fly to my home and I see it, how it's spread out, and I look at all that God has blessed me with, and I thought about walking off. I'm glad I press my way, amen, amen.
Records show it's worth $8 million, but they paid no property taxes last year. And this preacher pad may be the biggest of all the parsonages in America. The mansion behind me is where Pastor Jesse Duplantis lives. It's located outside New Orleans, and he has said it cost about $20 million to build. And he often brags about all the valuable artwork inside. But records from last year show neither Duplantis nor his church paid a single cent in taxes on this property.
I have the biggest house of any preacher in America. I'm saying that on television. You don't think they're going to nail me next week when I get home?
Duplantis didn't return our calls or emails, so we caught up with him in this Georgia church parking lot.
We wanted to ask you if you're paying property taxes on your mansion in Louisiana.
To me, those houses look more like a fortress than an open door. And I don't know how a person could justify that being an extension of the church.
Yeah, it's discouraging to see how far these guys have diverged from the teachings of Jesus.